welcome back to the channel. Today we have an exciting unboxing of a BZ care package. So I'm just going over a couple of things I ordered from BZ to try and hopefully improve my setup, and yeah, let's get it cracked open. So inside we just have some packing stuff, as you can see. So I'll just move those to the side for a sec, and I'll just show you what the inside of the box looks like. So as you can see what I've ordered, I'll slowly start to bring them out. So what did I order from BZ? Let me fold these down so it's a bit easier to see. So first in the box, I ordered a YouTuber patch. I'll of course combo it with my active merchant patch just so people know I actually record for YouTube, and hopefully means that more people will look up my channel instead of just wondering like, what is this random the active merchant? So yeah, so a YouTuber patch. Then I also ordered a barrel sock. So this is of course a Akatsuki one. It's from the HK brand, but the Akatsuki from Naruto, which of course is one of my favorite groups, and of course it complements the black and red, so it'd be nice to have a nicer barrel sock. I currently use a Novrich one and a black and red Tipman one, and then I've got some basic just like fully black ones, but I thought it's nice to be a bit more fresh in it. Then I got this HK skull cap. It's kind of like a Durag. I'll try and show you that later what that looks like on. As the Durag I have at the moment, it's alright, but I don't think it wicks sweat as well, and yeah, hopefully this can be my thing to cover my head and then wear the helmet.
This video is sponsored by me. You've seen the collection and know I love wrapping airsoft guns. If you're interested in having some of yours done, send me an email at theactivemerchant44@gmail.com, or alternatively, if you know me personally, send me a message. Here's a couple of different platforms I've wrapped before and some of the different color options. My personal favorite is the Damascus, as you can tell, but I have a few different colors available. And if there's any colors that you haven't seen here that you might want done, just send me a message and I'll see if I can sort that for you.
And of course, I always put timestamps in the video description, so if you want to skip ahead to anything, then you can see that. Then I got this HK Armory tank cover. So this one is for, it fits 68 CI tanks and above. So this is for the 68 CI tank I got. As you can see, it's also a Akatsuki theme, which is very cool. The good perk about these is, although I usually wear a tank in the backpack, you never know if it's getting like scratched around and things, and when it's moving around, it can, if there's dirt in the bag and stuff, it can get dirty. So this adds a bit of padding, so it's a bit more protected. And if I ever decide to run one of those builds that has the tank and the grip, then of course at least I've got the tank covered and it's not being shot, things, which is of course something you'd want to avoid. So I'll pop that to the side. And then the main thing we ordered is in this box separately. So I'll pop this down now to clear a bit of space for us. So in this box, let's see. So of course they ship it without the air, because if you did ship it with the air, there's a chance that it could blow up, which would not be ideal, of course. But I'm just gonna see if when they did this, let's see, we'll go from the top. I think it's the top side. Hopefully, I've opted for the right side to open it from. I'm surprised that it came in a big box like this, but it's nice to know at least they're protecting it. So a bit more of the packing stuff, and let's see. So there is the tank, and just some more packing stuff at the bottom. And as you can see, so I went for the HK Army Alpha Air tank, with the HK Army, I think it's HP8 is the reg for it. I'll put the prices on the screen so you can have a look. But it's a nice, it's a 68 CI 4500 PSI tank. I went for it in the black and blue option, as I also like black and blue. And fortunately, it seems as if they have assembled it for you before. I wasn't sure if it would just be a kind of screw-on job, but I'm happy that it's assembled, as I wasn't sure if I was to do it myself, if I'd potentially do it wrong. Okay, we've freed it from its packaging, so I'll pop that to the side for a sec. So this is what the tank looks like, and already I can feel it is a lot lighter than my current tank. So the current tank I was using is the 4500 PSI 1.1 litre power air tank, but unfortunately it's ran out of, it needs to be rehydroed. So I thought I could either go to get it rehydroed, which I didn't realise how complicated it is to go and do, but if you don't have like a dive shop near you that's like willing to do it, it's a lot harder than you think. And I think roughly it costs at least like £40. So that tank still has up until 2035, I think, for its lifetime. But for me personally, so I think the guy who I did buy it from originally, so gave me actually a good deal on like the full set. So it was the power tank, the Polestar reg, and he threw in a couple of different lines I could use with it. And I think when he bought it, it was, so the tank date was 2020 June, and I think he started using it from the following year, so 2021. And of course 5 years have passed now, and for me personally, even if something works but you're not supposed to use it, I wouldn't use it, just because you don't want to risk that there's a chance, oh yeah, it might blow up, or like if it's not cycling the air through correctly, or if it's like corroded over time, you wouldn't know. So I decided to just buy a full new tank. So this is the new tank, and as you see, so in the bottom right here, we've got the date that this tank was born. So it was December 2025, and its final date is December 2040. So of course it will need to be hydroed again in 5 years time, but this is the tank. But yeah, it's significantly lighter, even though my other tank was actually a composite tank. Yeah, it's 0.7 kg, so 700 grams, which is nice. It's a nice lighter weight. As you see, it's got the HP8 reg on here, and on one side it has, I'm not sure, I think they're called the burst valve or something, but the 1.8K one on this side and a 7.5K on this side. Then it's got a cover for the fill valve here, which comes off like so. And as you see, it has a coloured indicator, so I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see. It has a coloured indicator here, so you can see with the numbers as well, so you know how much. So of course this is 4500 PSI tank max, but yeah, you can see it's got the red for when it's empty, or very low, yellow when it's got a bit more, green, and it's also got the numbers to tell you, so 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, and then the max being 4.5. So when you're filling it up, you only want to fill it up to just under the 4500 mark. So that's the tank, and of course you see there's this rubber thing to cover the top, so there's no dirt going into it during travel. See if I can figure out how to get this off, or if it'll be an unscrew, or whether or not we just need to pull this off. Oh, we can just pull it off. Then you see it's got the two O-rings, and yeah, so you see I chose the blue regulator to match this, as these tanks don't actually usually come with a regulator, so you need to buy it together. So I bought it as a bundle, and yeah, I'm happy they screwed it in, as I was thinking myself, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to. So yeah, it's very nice, as you can see. We'll leave this back on for now, So back in the box. So what did we get? So we got the 68 CI tank. We bought this tank cover as well to combo with that. Then we also got the skull wrap, the barrel sock which also matches this one, and this YouTuber patch. So of course this will now be replacing my tank, as I was saying before, that I could go and get it serviced, but I think to do it, I looked online, I think Just Paintball offers a service for it, and it's about £40, which isn't too bad depending on how much you spend on the tank, but you need to send it to them empty or bring it to them. Bringing it to them would be too far for me to do personally. I think it'd be over almost 2 hours of travel, which is too far for me. Or you can send it to them, but they also have a small print that if your tank fails the sorry, some birds like flapping or something outside. If your tank doesn't pass the test, they'll just destroy it, and that's it. And yeah, I mean, that'll just be £40 plus how much it costs to send it off, so maybe about £45, and then I'm not sure if that covers them sending it back to you as well. Yeah, so almost an extra £50 to get the tank service, which would then get it to last an extra 5 years. Or for me, although I did think the tank was decent, I think that is a lot of effort to go through. So of course this tank isn't the most cheap. It's around 240 for the tank with the regulator. So of course it is an investment, but considering it's going to be the tank that's powering my replica, I of course want it to be good quality, and I'll be comboing this tank with the regulator I got with when I last bought that TM high camper, so the storm regulator and the HK hostile light. So of course it's not all HK, but the Wolverine storm regulator is very nice, as I did show you before, and of course the silver on the top will look nice, so we'll combine that shortly. And yeah, I will combine them now. And yeah, so of course I retired my old tank, so it is just sitting empty currently, and I will show you the tank setup I've got at the moment that I will be switching over to this one. After my power tank had got to the date that it needed to be changed, I changed over to this HK aluminium tank, which is a 3000 psi 0.8 litre tank, and it's 1.15 kg. So of course this holds an extra 400 millilitres of air, which is good. Also holding up to 4500 psi, which is also better. So carbon tanks, why people mostly get them is they hold more air, they're lighter weight, and also I think just in terms of reliability, these aluminium tanks are very well priced, usually being around £40 compared to 240. But if you want the extra shots as well as a lighter and better overall tank, then that's why you go for the carbon tank instead. So currently here, this is the tank setup I was using. So the dates for this is May 2024, but it was only started being used I think in December 2024. So this is only, it's still got up until 2029 May to be used. So I'll still keep this as a spare tank setup, so just in case either my tank runs out and I need an extra tank to use. If it runs out of air, or also if I'm going with a friend and they also want to use a HPA setup, then I can give them that, where I could be using my tank setup and they can be using this one. And for example, the MTW, which is very air efficient, I think last time I took it, I was there for almost, I'd say about 4 hours or so, when I played at Mayhem, and it only went through about 500 psi in that time, and I had it set to 80 psi, so that is like very air efficient. So yeah, so this current setup is the HK Army 3000 psi tank, 48 CI, and I've got it with the Polestar MR2 reg, and this, I'm not actually sure which line this is, but it is just a basic line. So put that to the side, and then we'll be combining the tank and reg for the new one. This comes off as so, and then we'll grab the storm regulator. So combining these two, so we'll start to screw this on, and then eventually so when it's fully screwed on, as you see, it's at like a very weird angle like this. So some people say it's better to unscrew it a little, like maybe a half turn from, yeah, so we'll leave it at this angle instead, so that when we're using it, the reg will be coming out like this, and the reg will of course be there, and the line will come off like this, and we can still see the reg, and it's not, as you see, screwing it all the way would be to here. So we're leaving it about a quarter turn off being full. There we go. So that's what that looks like together, and combine it now with the line. So the HK Army Hostile XLP 42-inch line. So that would go like this. And here is the tanks now side by side. So that's what they look like. And of course, this one being 700 grams over, in comparison to 1,150 grams, is a decent amount of weight difference. So of course, I usually run these in the tank backpack, but yeah, that's the weight difference between them and how they look side by side. And of course, you can see that this one's obviously a lot shorter, a bit wider, but holding that much extra air is obviously very useful. So, oh, that's another thing. Aluminium tanks can stand on their bottom, whereas carbon tanks and other ones are usually rounded like this. So if you tried to stand it up, it would fall. So close this up now, and then we will combine it with this here. So this will be the cover. As you can see, it's very nice, just got a bit of specs on it, but of course we don't want it to be scratched up and things, so we will take this out as so this just comes on, and of course it's got the very nice HK design on it. So then this would go see if we can get this round. I'm sure I'll, for now, I'll just connect the line, because it'll just be dragging. So it's a bit of a tight fit, as you can see, but we will try to make it work. So of course it's a very snug fit, but we've got the extra insulation on the bottom here. Then what you do is you would zip up this here. Now the tank is protected a bit more from external damage. So if we were running this on like a carbon build, then if it was getting shot at least it's protected here. I don't really like playing with an exposed tank because I'm worried the regulator gauge can get shot of the tank reg, or the primary regulator can also get shot, as these glass, I don't think they're bulletproof. So yeah, I'd rather my regs not being shot at while I'm playing. So yeah, that's what it looks like together. And with that, nope, still doesn't stand on its own. But, oh, just about, okay. But as you see, when you combine them, it makes the tank look a lot nicer. I did also consider getting the like skull pattern ones, which I did think were very cool, but I thought the black and blue was a nice combo to go for, so I went for this instead. And yeah, that is the tank setup I will now be moving to. So yeah, so either that, or say if a friend of mine is using the MTW, I'd give them this setup, while say I'm using another HPA setup. If it's something that would need more air, then I would be using this one. And if they're using one that requires more air, then I'd give this one to use, and this one, when I'm using my MTW, I'd just use that instead. But yeah, that's just me going over the tank and stuff. So I've gone through the tank, and let's I'll just pop it on the side for now. Move this to the side, and this I'll show you on a replica, but I don't actually have one outside with me here. The YouTuber patch, I guess we could put that on my backpack, which I have over here. So this is the backpack I currently use for my HPA setup. So on the front, I've got the Bolster Armories patch, which you get from if you buy any of Patrol Base's Bolster Armories stuff. And so here I have the BNA patch, which is actually so when I first bought the Scorpion Evo, the guy who I was buying it from actually asked me if I was like part of an Airsoft team or anything, and I said I wasn't. So he asked if I'd want to potentially join their team. So I bought this patch maybe 3 years ago now, or 2 and a bit. And yeah, it's just a very nice or very cool patch, I think. I bought a couple extra to give some friends as well. So I keep that as this very nice graphic patch. And then on the back here, I rock the COD Zombies, the Revive patch, which I think is cool, and a UK Airsoft patch. So this is the Viper Tactical Backpack. So usually when I'm using it, I would have the tank inside these. Use it like this, as so. So as you see from this tank, I'd have the PSI gauge here, so I can see how much air's in it, and then the pressure gauge as well. I would have it so that it's zipped up like so, and it's coming out on the right hand side to go into my replica. So of course this Viper Tactical Backpack I do think is a very good product. I can put a product link for it there so you can just have a look at it. And this one, what's nice is it comes with this chest rig carrier, which connected through the Viper buckle up system. So you've got the top ones of course for the straps, so you can just rock this as an individual backpack if you didn't want to rock this rig, but this rig comes with M4 mag holders, which you can actually switch out for other ones. So I've got my PTS EPM mags in here, which I've put my YouTube channel and numbers, so I number them, so I use the 1, 2, 3, and then I've got a 4th and 5th mag separately as well. And this bag's nice because it's also got this zip bit here, which you can use to hold smokes and things, or if like a barrel sock and other stuff as well. And it also has some pistol mag holders, which are nice. So usually 3 mags of 250 rounds is more than enough for me. And of course having an extra 2 on my waist with my pistol mags as well Of course, when you're running a primary like the MTW, you don't really need a secondary, but for the options of the places that offer like gun hits and you can switch to a secondary, it's nice to have a backup. So yeah, that's what this one looks like in there, and I'll just show you me putting it on. So undo this, and then actually we'll save that for now. Don't worry. So now, so also usually while I'm not using the tanks, I will take out the line as so, and then connect it together like this. And so we'll do the same for the other tank here. And when I'm not using my tanks, I always leave them inside a backpack like so. Hopefully these two will be able to share the space together. So just pop this like that. And then the lines we can also fit in together. So actually, of course you can see it's quite a slim profile at the moment, but you can extend it. So zips at the bottom here. It like that, and you can now extend it a bit more. So now we will have plenty of space to fit them two together in here. This goes like that. Then do the same with this. This goes in as so. That is the tanks together as so. So an important thing to remember is to keep your air tanks out of direct sunlight, as I think if they're just sat in the sun for too long, it might just alter something. But for me, I think it's better to keep it out of the sunlight. Don't leave it like next to a radiator or something. So I always just leave it in like a cold corner where I know it's not going to be disturbed. I'll try and see if I can find some information actually on leaving your tank in the sunlight or leaving it in the dark, which I do. I think, at least from as far as I'm aware, it's better to leave it in a dark, like colder place than it would be to keep it in the tank, keep it in a warmer spot. So I'll also show you the skull cap now. So it's supposed to be one that fits most sizes and can be adjusted as well. So together. And before you ask, no, I'm not a Speedsofter. There's obviously nothing wrong with that, but I just quite like the options that HK have to offer in terms of like carrying gear for HPA, as I don't know, the people who carry like just a tank on their like molly, I mean, if that's for you, sure, but for me, it's not really my thing. I respect how quick Speedsofters can actually move, and as I'm quick without gear, but when I'm wearing a lot of gear, I personally cannot keep up with how fast some of these Speedsofters move. Okay, so this will go like this. I believe it's quite a tight fit, so maybe I just have a big head, but I'll let you be the decide of that. So then clip it at the back for the size we want to go for. See what it looks like in the mirror. So I'm not sure if I'm wearing it correctly, but if you see on the back, there's this to tighten it if you do have a smaller head. But for me, I can literally just have it rested very lightly, and it's already pretty tight around my head. I'm not sure if I'm wearing it too high or too low, but it is already quite tight. Would it be something I play in? Maybe, but I guess with my helmet, maybe then it will combo a bit better. But of course you actually have the neck protection here, which is good. And yeah, it is a comfortable material. It is just tight. So that would be what I say about that. But yeah, I think it's cool to have a fitted one, but maybe when I get it more used to my head size, it will be better. But that would be what it looks like, and say with a hat as well. That's what it would combo together like, which is cool. Get stuff together. Okay, so take that off. Switch back to the trusty hat. Of course, my hat is comfortable as is. Of course, the only thing with that hat is I would like to be able to wear some different options for Airsoft, but I just find the helmet with the camera mount is usually just the most reliable. So this I did buy because recently when I was making a Norwich order, I ordered this mount that can clip to a dye mask. So it'll be on the top there, and then so I could wear something like this so my head's still somewhat protected. And with the dye mask, which I think some like Speedsofters do, which yeah, I think it's cool. But yeah, of course I'm friends with some people who are more into Speedsoft than me, so I'll put a clip of when I was last. Mayhem and these two are like these two can run, and they're very good teammates to have. So every time I'm on the same team with them, I'm gassed, of course, because at least I know that we'll have some quick runners who yeah just get business done. So I'm not on either team of Speedsoft versus Milsim. I still enjoy Airsoft just more like as a hobby, and of course you see how much I camo my guns and things. I'm not playing like to be not seen and things, which is counterproductive, of course, because I have a ghillie suit, but I don't use it much. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, that is pretty much everything I ordered from BZ. I'm a bit in the middle in terms of I like the running around element of Speedsoft, but am I quick enough to keep up with it in like full gear? Not really. And also I find in terms of camera stability that when you're trying to do like quick peeking round corners while shooting, one, the scope cam cannot keep up with it. I don't know if there's a setting to change it, so I'll definitely have to ask some friends. But if I'm like that and try and peek a corner quickly and shoot someone, there's no chance you see it on camera. Like, you'll maybe see my head camera if I slowed it down a bit, if they're close enough that I do that. But I think the fast pace of Speedsoft is very different. Of course, I did find it very fun when I attended Mayhem. It was a very interesting experience to be in the kill house, and I'll definitely be back there using tracers for the first time. I'm actually thankful that I did spend as much as I have on tracers, because actually getting to use them was really cool. And yeah, of course, Speedsoft's a very different experience. I've never done like a full Milsim where you say are there for like a whole day. But the other type of Airsoft, which is like a middle ground, is where you do like a mix of CQB and outdoors, and the outdoors being like woodland gameplay. Of course, I still use my like brightly coloured things there. I'm more of like I would say I fit in the meme soft category, at least to an extent, because my like main thing is like in a lot of my videos you do see I just run around with a minigun, and of course the W23 micro. But yeah, of course you've seen in a couple of videos that I do just like running around with the minigun, as of course it's not the most practical. Are you going to get a lot of kills with it? No. Does it sound cool when you're firing it, and the intimidation factor? Because a lot of the time, like, you'll be shooting it and then people are just, oh, what's that, like, kind of thing. So of course, like, the longer range players, they just like cook me. Like, I've had a guy say to me before that, like, when he see me with the minigun, he's like, yeah, usually if I see someone with like a minigun or LMG, they're the first person I shoot. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I still of course just enjoy running around the minigun. As you see on my channel, I usually use a lot of different things because as much as like a lot of stuff in my collection I know is like good and I can use more than once and be happy with it. Yeah, I don't know, there's something about Airsoft where, at least for me, where you may have like a very good gun, but you still be like, huh, there's so much of like a variety of things to pick from out there. So of course, when I used the MTW last week when I played, I was like, man, I can see why a lot of people like this gun. Like, it is a very good gun, I do see it. But yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of it in terms of like, you'll be there like if you're using like just a regular AEG, and of course they are like trusty, reliable, anyone can buy them, they're pretty affordable. Even for like around £300 or so, you can get like a very good AEG. For example, like the Novrich SSR4 Mark II, which I haven't taken to a skirmish, at least by the time of recording this video. But that out of the box is like shooting very nicely, and I'm sure when I do take it to a game day at some point, it will be good. Or for example, I've got the Bolster MP5 in my collection, which that thing honestly keeps up with most HPA stuff. It's a very well-tuned gun, and yeah, I do think Patrol Base did actually do a very good job with it. And when my friend was actually using it in the video, unfortunately we weren't filming with him as well, but because it was his first time playing Airsoft in a while, so he wasn't sure how the gameplay would be, but he actually did very well with the MP5. His only complaint being that it is just very heavy, and that's a luxury you get with some HPA builds, that of course they are lightweight and or lighter weight than most AEGs and gas blowbacks. So yeah, the MTW is like, it was very good, and I'm here thinking like, oh yeah, I do see the hype, and I see why like I'm killing people at usual distances I wouldn't be able to shoot them. But I also see that like it is one of those guns that you can get, and you don't really need to get anything else. Like, you can just use that and be happy with it. But of course I like the variety of like using things like the SSR90, or in a few videos ago where I was using the dual pistols. Like, dual pistols, of course you're limited to the capacity of gas blowback pistols, as well as gas I'm not a fan of in terms of gas reliability. I don't know if it's just the Novrich products I have that sometimes they struggle with the cold. At least with my SSP18 and SSP28 on gas, they keep up well even if it is cold. As that time when I was using it, it was actually, I think, the day it was snowing. And of course you've seen me just run around with the pocket grenade launcher thing, which that thing like has the worst range I've ever seen. And of course you're shooting someone with like up to 120 BBs, which is hilarious, and it does look funny, like the clip of me shooting Kieran with it. Of course, what's the chances that when I'm using that, it's just such a niche weapon, that I managed to actually get to shoot one of my friends with it. Yeah, they're a lot of fun, but of course they're not the most practical. They don't have the best range, but they are fun. When I was running around with the gas breacher, in terms of being like compact and stuff, it is nice, but the reliability of gas, I just find that I think you're just taking the risk with knowing whether or not your gas gun's actually going to fire properly. Of course, you can change which gas you use during like different times of the year, but also when you go higher than green gas, I've heard that the higher gas you go, the more like pressure you're putting as well on the internals to run it. So usually I just stick to green gas, but some of my replicas just like don't like green gas. Like the SSP5, last time I took it, it just would short out every time I try and shoot it with the on gas. When I shot it up through HPA instead, would shoot perfectly fine. So I don't know if it's just because of the temperature or maybe I just had bad luck with green gas. Because of course I have seen videos online where people do just run just green gas. I have a friend, Luca, who uses or was using a gas replica, and for me, I don't know how people do with the gas capacity, but I do get that the gas blowback feel is very cool, and I do think it's cool that you get the nice mix of it with HPA, where you can, of course, use those HPA adapters to use that. But yeah, gas as well. When you do run a gas blowback on HPA, it actually dries up the internals, so the lubricant of the internals and the O-rings and stuff, they do dry out over time, so they do need to be like re-lubed if you are planning to use a gas blowback replica a lot. So that is something to consider as well. As at least with green gas, they've got I think some of them either have silicone oil or some sort of lubricant in them, so that at least they're working the parts and keeping them like lubed as well as like working. So yeah, that's my thing on gas and running things on HPA. Of course, HPA builds like the MTW, or if you have an AEG where you've installed the HPA engine, I do think that's the best if you're going to run HPA, because of course with the electronic parts, they don't really need to be lubed. The only thing you might be considering is if like how like dirt inside your inner barrel, like you needed to clean that out, or there's not as many moving parts in an electric or HPA replica than there would be in a gas blowback, because you need the parts moving, like the recoil moving back, like the bolt and things. So that's why I think, yeah, having either an AG with a HPA engine is better to run for HPA. Of course, you do lose out on the recoil bit, but for me, I don't think recoil is like that important to me. Of course, the Sega, which is the most like heavy blowback thing I have, that thing kicks hard for gas blowback, and it's definitely more blowback than any other gas gun I've used. So it is cool, but having the extra moving parts and stuff over time, I'm not sure how worth it will be. So yeah, the only gas replica I have enjoyed that I didn't have too much like issues with gas efficiency and stuff was the HK MP7, which that is a very nice gas blowback gun. Even on HPA, it's a very good weapon, and that's like something that comes in and out of my collection here and there. Most of the times I ever ran it was just as a gas replica on its own, but I never actually took it on a day being HPA tapped. So now that I've got like a nice tank setup, I will potentially be doing more gameplay with like different gas replicas while they're HPA tapped. So I have plans if I've still got my SSP5 down the line when I next go to Mayhem, then I might do a comparison of the SSP5 and the TM High Capper to see if the SSP5 literally just out of the box minus changing some color parts compared to the TM High Capper when it's got like all the different upgrades you could do to it, how they would compare. Either that, or maybe I'll be taking the Sega, and potentially if I can get my hands on a Cork R Tracer, which are ridiculously expensive. They're about £145, I think, on Amazon. I'll show you a picture of that. That would be cool, yeah, to run the Sega or the Tracer. But of course, the Sega is heavy, and like my forearm was killing from just like holding it like that. So I think maybe running it with a sling would be better. But yeah, that's why I do respect Speedsoft having like the most lightweight build possible, and just going out with that and like being able to run quickly, maneuver quickly, is a very useful thing to have. So I definitely see the props in it. So yeah, I mean, of course this video mainly was an unboxing for the BZ tactical things I ordered, but of course including some yap on like why I'm using HPA, how I think it compares to AEG and GBBs, or GBBRs. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it somewhat informative, at least, for showing you what selection I chose when I was going for a new tank, what regulator I'd be running and what line I'd be running, and when you get to the process of either having a spare tank reg line setup, which is nice to have. So if you do have a friend who wants to use some HPA replica of yours, or if they want to use a replica of theirs but HPA tapped, being able to offer them the ability to use a HPA setup is nice, because HPA is expensive to get into. So this is my first time buying a HPA tank setup, brand new. Most of the time I just went for deals, because usually it's about, the regulator is usually the most expensive thing of it, but they usually range from about 50 to 100, or 50 to one. I think the Storm reg itself is 130, so your regulator being about 50 to 130, your tank being £40 on the low end to 200 and something on the high end. So of course, and the line being about £20-30. Of course, you can go for the cheapest you want. So your cheapest tank being about £40, your cheapest reg being about 50, your cheapest line being about 30. That's already £120. And then of course you still need to buy a replica separately that you can run HPA through. So of course, if you go for a pre-built thing like the Wolverine, it's around £800 usually for the rifle. So getting into HPA can be expensive, and yeah, that's why I think if you can at least offer to your friends to give them the experience of it, and maybe they can see whether or not it's for them. But yeah, I mean, the first time I bought a tank reg setup was okay. So the first tank I got was actually a Vulcan 48 CI tank with a regulator, the ballistic regulator, and the line. So that actually came with, I think I was buying a HPA adapter, the primary Airsoft adapter. So I bought those four, and that actually came with the HPA backpack, which I showed earlier. So those 5 things, I think I got it for around maybe about 150. So I think if I did the maths on it, so the tank being about £45, the regulator, I'll just check the price on that. Let's see. The regulator was 120, and that came with the key as well, which is good. Actually, let's see. So the HPR 800C V2, just on its own with the tank and key, is about £75, it says. And if you get it with the set, it's 120 if you buy it with the regulator, line, and the key. So and that comes with the, I'm not sure if it's a HK line, I'm trying to think, or is it Vulcan? Basically it's a thick braided line that it has a silver symbol, which looks similar to HK, but I'm not sure if it is HK. But yeah, so I got the tank, line, and reg all together with the backpack and the primary Airsoft adapter.